Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I am Anifa Amintao and I am the leader of the Group 9. Today we will discuss the theory of Faye Glenn Abdillah. So I will discuss the purpose statement. So what is the first statement? The first statement is, what is Abdillah's main goal? So ano nga ba yung main goal ni Abdillah dito sa kanyang theory? So the main goal is the improvement of the nursing education. So gusto ni Abdillah is improve pa yung pagtuturo sa mga nursing. Kasi yung trabaho ng nursing is hindi yan biro. Kasi hawak mo yung buhay ng pasyente. So kapag nagkamali ka ng bigay ng gamot or nagkamali ka ng procedure dun sa pasyente, is pwedeng mapahamak yung pasyente. For example na rin is yung sabi nga ni sir na habang maaga pa is makakapag-duty na tayo kahit hindi tayo nakakapag-capping or kahit freshman pa lang tayo. Para marami tayong kaalaman. Hindi lang sa discussion, kundi pati na rin sa skills. So yun yung main goal ni Abdillah. Gusto niya is maraming may tuturo sa mga nursing. So let's proceed to the second and last statement. So the second and last statement is, what is the most important of Abdillah's theory? So the importance of Abdillah's theory is help transform the focus of the profession from being disease-centered to patient-centered. So, ano nga ba itong disease-centered? So, ang disease-centered is nakafocus lang sila dun sa sakit ng isang pasyente. For example, may asthma yung isang pasyente. So, ang kanilang iisipin is yung sakit ng isang pasyente at hindi yung pasyente, kundi yung sakit ng isang pasyente. So, kung magbibigay man sila ng gamot is hindi na nila iisipin kung yung gamot ba na ibibigay dun sa pasyente is kakayanin niya or kaya ng katawan niya. Kasi nakafocus lang sila dun sa sakit ng pasyente. So yon, gusto ni Abdillah na i-transform yung disease-centered to patient-centered. So ano ang patient-centered? Ang patient-centered is nakafocus sila dun sa sakit ng pasyente at dun sa pasyente. So kung gusto nila bigyan ng gamot yung isang pasyente is tinitingnan muna nila kung yung gamot ba is pwede dun sa katawan ng pasyente or yung gamot ba is kakayanin ng pasyente. So kapag hindi naman kakayanin ng pasyente is pwede sila maghanap ng ibang gamot na related sa kanyang sakit at related dun sa katawan niya. So both na pwedeng gamutin yung sakit niya at pwedeng hindi mapahamak yung kanyang katawan. So yun yung gusto ni Abdillah. Gusto ni Abdillah na yung disease-centered is maging patient-centered para magkaroon ng care sa pasyente. Yun yung gusto ni Faye Glenn Abdillah. So again, ang disease-centered is nakafocus lang sila sa sakit ng isang pasyente at hindi dun sa pasyente. So ang patient-centered naman is nakafocus sila both sa sakit at dun sa pasyente. So the next one is yung kasabihan ni Faye Glenn Abdillah. So we cannot wait for the world to change. Those of us with intelligence, purpose, and vision must take the lead and change the world.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Ryan G. Omar and I will discuss, I will explain about the introduction of Faye Glenn Abdillah. Okay. Faye Glenn Abdillah was one of the most influential nursing theorists and public health scientists. Kasi Faye Glenn Abdillah daw isa daw siya sa pinaka-most influential na theorist sa public health scientist. It is extremely rare to find someone who has dedicated her life to the advancement of the nursing profession and accomplished this feat with so much distinction and merit. Okay, the first nurse and first woman to serve as Deputy Surgeon General of the United States. Okay, si Faye Glenn Abdillah daw is the first nurse and the first woman to serve as a Deputy Surgeon General of the United States. Okay, about the Abdillah's education, Teachers College at Columbia University, Douglas Residential College, and Anne May School of Nursing. And about the occupation of Abdillah, Professor of Nursing and Deputy Surgeon General. Okay, si Abdillah daw ay Professor of Nursing and Deputy Surgeon General. Okay. Fine Abdullah Dow are known for first nurse and woman to serve as a deputy to the Surgeon General, led the formation of the Natural Institute of Nursing Research, founder and first dean of the Graduate School of the Nursing. Si Abdullah Dow is known siya sa first woman and first nurse na nag-serve ng Deputy Surgeon General. And then siya din daw yung nag-lead ng formation of the National Institute of Nursing Research, founder and the first dean of the Graduate School of Nursing. The awards of Abdullah's are 2012 inductee, American Nurses Association Hall of Fame, 2000 inductee, National Women's Hall of Fame, and 1994 Living Legend, American Academy of Nursing. Si Abdullah Dow, si Fine Glenn Abdullah ay namatay noong February 24, 2017. About the biography of Fine Glenn Abdullah. Education achievement. Fine Glenn Abdullah was born on March 13, 1919 in New York City. Abdullah earned a nursing diploma from New York City. Fine a nursing diploma from Pitkin Memorial Hospital School. Master of Arts degree in 1947 and Doctor of Education. And also took Master of Arts degree in Physiology. And educator and researcher, Abdullah went to become a nursing instructor and researcher and helped transform the focus of the profession from disease-centered to patient-centered. She explained the role of nurses to include care of families and the elderly. She was selected as Deputy Surgeon General in 1982. She retired in 1989. Si Abdullah Dow na galing daw siya sa nursing instructor and researcher, and siya daw ay nag-explain ng role of nurses that the care of families and the elderly, and siya daw ay selected na Deputy Surgeon General in 1982 and nag-retire siya noong 1989.
Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. My name is Hanabi Batugan. For today's video, I will discuss to you about major concept of 21 nursing problem theory. The person, the society and environment, the health, and the nursing. First person. According to Phil Abdullah, she worked on the problem-solving method which delineates nursing patient problem as the patient moves toward a healthy outcome. This means that Phil Abdullah worked on the problem-solving method by describing, portraying, identifying the patient problem, and made that health outcome providing care and needs of the patient. She also contributed to the nursing theory development that introducing that systematic analysis of research report and creations the 21 nursing problem. This means that she proposed theory method which that use of research and order clearly understand the patient needs problem. Second, the society or environment. And Phil Abdullah contributions in nursing, she focused on educating the public by knowing and applying the 21 nursing problem in topics such as drug addiction, violence, and smoking, and alcoholism. And her theories, she focused on the maintenance and safety of the internal and external environment to promote a therapeutic environment and awareness. Second, health. This is of Phil Abdullah's 21 nursing problem. She focused on good hygiene, physical comfort, maintenance of body nutrition, fluid, and mechanism. Overall, she focused on physical, emotional, and developmental needs of an individual for comprehensive nursing care to the patient. Next, nursing. According to Abdullah's perspective in nursing, it's to aim at the problem-centered approaching of the philosophy nursing for formulate nursing centered. service to determine the patient need. Abdillah views in nursing as art and science, the mold of attitude, intellectual computation, and technical skills of the individual nurse into the deserve and ability to help individual cope with health needs, whether they are ill or well.
Wa barakatuh and good day to all of you. My name is Nabila Kadafi. Today, I will explain the nursing as a comprehensive service from the theory of Faiglin Abdillah.
Number 1 is recognizing the nursing problem of the patient. So, as a nurse, should know what problem of patient or you should know what the patient feels. So, you should ask your patient first like, what do you feel? Or does your stomach hurt? To recognize their problems. Number 2 is deciding the appropriate course of action to take in terms of relevant nursing principles. To care patients, you need to think before you act as a nurse for the patient's health safety. So, ask patient first before you treat your patient. So, kailangan mo munang gumawa ng plano para sa health ng iyong pasyente. Number 3 is providing continuous care of the individual total needs. So, as a nurse, do not forget that your work is to care a patient, like providing medication at the time that they need to take it or to remind them what they need to do as a patient. Providing continuous care to relieve pain and discomfort and provide immediate security for the individual. So, you should provide basic bedtime care and cleanliness as you can see here. Kung ano man ang pangangailangan ng iyong pasyente ay you should provide it for her safety and health. 5 is adjusting the total nursing care plan to meet the patient's individual needs. So, make sure that the plan for treatment of the patient is done early to cure the patient's illness and to prevent the spreading of it. Example is when you assign in the delivery room, so you should do early the procedure for giving birth. 6 is helping the individual to become more self-directing and attaining or maintaining a healthy state of mind and body. So, advise patients to maintaining a healthy state of mind and body. For example, is what should they avoid to what the danger that might happen. Number 7 is instructing nursing personnel and family to help the individual do for himself that which he can within his limitation. So, nurse should tell to patients what their limitation, like what patient need to avoid, food or anything else, and remind them their medication time to taking it. It is helping the individual to adjust to his limitations and emotional problems. Nurse should remind patient what should patient avoided and comfort patient to forget what problem he have according to his health. Working with allied health provision and planning for optimum health on local, state, national, and international levels. So, as a nurse, you need to cooperate to other nurse or to your doctor as long as you need care to your patient. Number 10 is carrying out continuous evaluation and research to improve nursing techniques and to develop new techniques to meet the health needs of people. So, you need to research your plan for patients' health and to develop nursing skills.
Assalamualaikum and good day to all of you. Today I will discuss the 11 nursing skills from the theory of Faiglin Abdillah.
Number 1 is observation of health status. Observation is simulated with someone in the hospital for a short time, while healthcare providers try to decide if they received enough relief in patient treatment. Now, observation patients can sometimes be kept in the hospital for days on observation status. It's easy to see how this can be confusing for patients since we don't feel to think of a patient as involved in an overnight stay in the hospital. When you're admitted to the hospital, it's not always easy to figure out if you being admitted as an inpatient or considered an outpatient under hospital observation status. Number 2 is the skills of communication. For nurses, good communication in healthcare means approaching every patient's interaction with the intention to understand the patient's concerns, experiences, and opinions. This includes using verbal and nonverbal communication skills, along with active listening and inpatient teach-back techniques. Number 3 is the application of knowledge. Knowledge application is when available knowledge is used to make decisions and perform tasks through direction and routines. Why is application of knowledge important in nursing? Application of knowledge in nursing is important in relation to patient's care delivery. Knowledge can give nurses greater power to take action, and lack of knowledge can leave nurses powerless to provide safe or effective care. Number 4 is teaching of patients and families. A systematic approach to patients' education requires including family members. Patient teaching should be conducted with the family present, whether in the hospital, in an ambulatory care or setting, or at home. A family member will be primary caregivers. Educational material should be written to meet their unique needs. Number 5 is the planning and organization of work. An organized nurse can manage their time effectively and know how to allocate hours in the day to prepare for, conduct and follow up on events and activities. Highly organized nurse can easily access and analyze procedures designed to handle various lab problems when they arise. Number 6 is use of resources materials. The importance of proper resource utilization in nursing is hard to overstate. Resource utilization is figuring out the optimal way in which a procedure, therapy, or technique can be used to achieve desired health outcomes. Number 7 is use of personnel resources. A human resource department is also in charge of keeping employees safe, healthy, and satisfied. Number 8 is problem solving. How do nurses use problem solving skills? Nursing uses problem solving skills by thinking creatively, asking the right question, and considering multiple options. Nurses will be able to solve problems much more effectively. Those who use problem solving skills see problems not as obstacles but as opportunities to improve their patients' health and well-being. Direction of work of others. Direction of work of others is the process of guiding, monitoring, and evaluating aspects of nursing care performed by others. Number 10 is therapeutic use of the self. The therapeutic use of the self is the central focus of nursing and requires that the nurse is aware of his or her own thoughts, feelings, and action. Number 11 is the nursing procedure. The nurses preparing patient for examined treatment, administering medication and treatments, then monitoring patients for side effects and reactions, creating, implementing, and evaluating patient's care plan with the medical team, performing wound care such as cleaning and bandaging them.
Assalamualaikum everyone. I am Nur Haifaim Ali and I am discussing 21 nursing problem. The first one is to maintain good hygiene and physical comfort. Promoting good hygiene and physical comfort is something we can never take away from nursing. Each and every individual who is maintaining good health will surely maintain good hygiene and physical comfort. For me, this is embedded in our instinct as human being. Let's take for example ang bagong ipinanganak or ang sanggol. Ang pag-iyak ang tanging paraan nila para may palam or may pahayag ang kanilang pangangailangan. Basically, kapag umiyak sila, it's either gutom sila or basa ang kanilang diapers. Or simply, they just don't feel comfortable. Bilang isang nurse, responsibilidad natin tulungan ang pasyente to maintain their good hygiene and physical comfort, especially kapag hindi nila kaya itong gawin. A simple morning care and bedside care contribute a lot in meeting this need. Positioning of bedridden patient aim to maintain physical comfort. Imagine patient lying on their own folding beds along the aisle of the hospital. Imagine a post-operative patient with her wound eviscerated or disemboweled, yet still not attended by nurse or doctors. Imagine a patient complaining of pain in the past 8 hours, yet still not known by the nurse. Quality nursing care is list of the priorities. I may say that promoting good hygiene and physical comfort to our patient is one of the determinants of safe and quality nursing care. This is an aspect of great importance, especially to those not in the medical field. Providing good hygiene and physical comfort is something that should never be neglected, if not prioritized. Number 2 is to promote optimal activity, exercise, rest, or sleep. Rest is a state of being physically and mentally relaxed while being awake and alert. While sleep naman is a reversible behavioral state which consciousness, activity of skeletal muscles and metabolism are depressed. It is one of the many biorhythms which occur at regular intervals in all living creatures. An average adult gets 4 to 5 hours sleep each night, and so both rest and sleep plays an important role in energy conservation and restoration. On the other hand, exercise is a type of physical activity defined as a plan, structure, and repetitive bodily movement done to improve or maintain one or more components of physical fitness. As a nurse, it is an integral part of our nursing plan to promote optimal activity of the patient na dapat siguraduhin may sapat na exercise, pagpapahinga o pagtulog ang isang pasyente. Paano natin ma-achieve ito? Mas mapapadali natin itong gawin kung makikipagtulungan tayo sa mas professional sa pangalaga at kung magpa-participate ng maayos ang isang pasyente at ang kanyang pamilya. Number 3 is to promote safety by preventing accident, injuries, or other trauma and preventing the spread of infection. Ang kaligtasan ng pasyente ay isang bagong disiplina that emphasize the reporting, analysis, and prevention of medical errors na kadalasang humahantong sa masamang kaganapan sa pangalagang pangkalusugan. Kaya anong magagawa ng kaligtasan sa atin? Ang mga benefits ng pagpapanatili ng isang ligtas na kapaligiran ay marami. Una sa lahat, ang kaligtasan ay tungkol sa kung ano ang maaari nating gawin upang maprotektahan ang ating mga pasyente. It plays a vital role in our healthcare system and it absolutely defines a quality healthcare. Tayo bilang nurse, kailangan natin gawin ay mapabuti ang kalidad at kaligtasan ng pasyente. Ito ay isang pangunahing aalahanin ng mga nurse. Kaya paano natin karaniwang itaguyod ang kaligtasan ng pasyente? According to the third typology of Abdilla's typology of nursing problem, maaari nating isulong ang kaligtasan sa pamamagitan ng pag-iwas ng mga aksidente, pinsala, at iba pang trauma. At sa pamamagitan ng pag-iwas sa pagkalat ng impeksyon, iwas ng mga aksidente, pinsala, at iba pang trauma. At sa pamamagitan ng pag-iwas sa pagkalat ng impeksyon. Ano ang pumapasok sa inyong isip when talking about prevention of infection or ang pag-iwas ng impeksyon? Siyempre, ang pinaka-basic ngunit pinakamahalaga ay ang paghuhugas ng kamay. Ang paghuhugas ng kamay ay ang kalinisan ng kamay. Ang akto ng paglilinis ng kamay ay ang paggamit ng tubig o iba pang liquid o ang paggamit ng sabon para sa layunin ng pag-alis ng lupa, dumi o microorganism. And microorganism is everywhere. Nurses are directly involved in providing in biological safe environment. We play critical role in preventing and controlling infectious. Number 4 is to maintain good body mechanics and prevent and correct the deformity. Ang body mechanics ay tumutukoy sa posisyon at paggalaw ng katawan kapag nakaupo, nakatayo at gumagawa ng anumang aktibidad. Pinapanatili nito ang posture, ang paraan ng pag-angat ng isang individual ng mga bagay at maging ang paraan ng pagtulog ng isang tao. Ang wastong body mechanics ay maaring tumutulong na maiwasan ang injury, particularly to the spine, which can bear the burden of unnecessary movement. Sa kaso ng paglilipat ng pasyente mula sa isang stretcher patungo sa kama o mula sa isang wheelchair patungo sa kama at vice versa. Kasong paggamit ng body mechanics ay malawak na base ng suporta sa pamamagitan ng paghiwalay ng mga paa, hips, and ankles. Many people acknowledge that some of this attention to posture which standing, sitting, or walking o ang pangalaga na dapat gawin ng isang tao sa pagbubuhat ng mabibigat na bagay ay maaring hindi natural sa simula. Ngunit kapag ang isang tao ay nagpatuloy dito, soon seemingly a natural position will feel better and he will have more energy and fewer back complaints than ever before. Ang mga benefits ng proper body mechanics ay dapat ibahagi sa ating mga pasyente, lalo na sa mga may problema sa musculoskeletal and those at risk, so that they would be motivated to apply the principles at all times to prevent further damage in the structure and function of the compromised body parts, to those who deformities, and to spare those who are physically fit and without illness state for break in the continuity of bones. Number 5 is to facilitate the maintenance of supply of oxygen to all body cells. Kapag walang oxygen, wala ding mabubuhay na tao. Imagine hindi tayo humihinga ng ilang segundo o minuto, ano ang mararamdaman mo? Maybe you might experience shortness of breath, pagkahilo, pananakit ng ulo, pagkapagod, pagduduwal, and feeling of euphoria, and even loss of consciousness in severe cases. Appropriate level of oxygen are vital to support cell respiration. Oxygen plays an important role in the energy metabolism of living organism. The living cell is the site of tremendous biochemical activity called metabolism. Ito ang proseso ng chemical at physical na pagbabago na patuloy na nagpapatuloy sa katawan ng isang tao. Build-up of new tissue, replacement of old tissue, conversion of food to energy, disposal of waste material, reproduction. All the activities that we characterize as life. As a healthcare nurse, ang responsibilidad sa matinding paggamot ay mahaba but to the community in relation to the importance of oxygen prevails. Remember the quotes, prevention is better than cure. Reflect the role of clinic nurses education. Here are the possible focuses of health teaching that could change human life. Education on triggering factors such as usok ng sigarilyo, allergy sa mga hayop na may balahibo, alikabok sa mga carpets or unan, malakas na usok at spray tulad ng car exhaust or tambutso ng kotse, malalakas na pabango o mabahong mga produktong panlinis, malamig na hangin sa malamig na panahon, and sometimes warm during summer. Mabilis na pagtakbo, paglalaro, pag-exercise at pagsikap sa pagtatrabaho. Number 2 is consulting of early stage of symptoms. Number 3, consumption of health food and eliminate junk foods as possible. Number 4, regular exercise. Number 6 is to facilitate the maintenance of nutrition of all body cells. The 6th nursing problem to facilitate the maintenance of nutrition of all body cells is very basic. Very basic concern of a nurse. Bukod sa medical na intervention, dietary adjustment relative to patient condition is also an important thing to consider. Ang pagsunod ng diet ay mahalaga din para sa fully recovery na pasyente, and also work as adjunct to pharmacologic regimen. Kaya mahalaga sa mga nurse na ganap na may paliwanag ang propose ng special diet to gain the patient's cooperation. I think nurse need to read up and refresh their knowledge on nutrition because it plays a very important factor for the health of the patient. Tayong mga nurse ay may kritikal na papel sa nutrition na kalusugan ng pasyente. It is important to make observation related to consumption of food and a patient's ability to prepare and eat food, and to monitor and teach good dietary habits. Some of the prescribed special diets may not be that palatable, at biglang pagbabago mula sa nakasanayang mga kagustuhan sa pagkain ng pasyente ay nagpapahirap a patient's ability to prepare and eat food, and to monitor and teach good dietary habits. Some of the prescribed special diets may not be that palatable, at biglang pagbabago mula sa nakasanayang mga kagustuhan sa pagkain ng pasyente ay nagpapahirap sa pagsunod. Gayon din ang estado ng sakit ng pasyente ay makakaapekto sa kakayahan at gana na kumain ng pasyente. Nurses should take this factor into consideration and perform intervention before, during, and after providing meals in order to optimize the patient's nutritional needs. I also believe that we should stress on the proper health education for our patient regarding nutrition, because good nutrition can actually prevent a lot of disease that we have today. 7. To facilitate the maintenance of elimination. Naniniwala ako na ang 7 nursing problem nagpapadali sa pagpapanatili ng elimination ay kasing halaga ng iba pang 21 nursing problem, dahil bahagi ito ng pagpapanatili sa pangangailangan ng isang tao to eliminate waste to maintain homeostasis. I believe in saying that what goes eventually goes out. A creature that is designed to ingest food and liquid should later on eliminate it, because the longer it stays inside the system, it will get routine and therefore it can cause imbalance. Ang sistema ng katawan ay gumagana sa parehong paikot na paggalaw, kaya ang parehong idea ay napupunta para sa katawan ng tao. Kung ano ang kinakain at iniinom ng tao, kailangan niyang alisin ang dumi pagkatapos nito, dahil kapag hindi ito malis sa katawan, posible itong magkasakit. Ang kasong ito ay isang simpleng paglalarawan ng teorya ni Abdillah na dapat pangasiwaan ng nurse. Ang pagpapanatili ng elimination upang maiwasan ang mga karagdagang problema na mangyayari. It may not be that the nurse will always be there to tell the patient to regularly eliminate, but the nurse can do health educator about the benefits of regular bowel of elimination and urination. Also, proper diet and an adequate amount of water consumption must be stressed by the nurse. The body will try its best to compensate for imbalance, but it can't take just as much. We need to understand our body's need for it to function properly and for us to sustain optimal health. Therefore, balance between the 21 nursing problem must be maintained by the person to maintain optimal health condition. Number 8 is to facilitate the maintenance of fluid and electrolyte balance. With Faiz Abdillah's patient-centered approach to nursing, it aims to deliver nursing care for the whole individual, which encompasses the 21 nursing problem. Abdillah emphasized nursing as a complex art of service and to identify one of the nursing problem under sustainable care need is to facilitate the maintenance of fluid and electrolyte balance. Man cannot live without water. As we all know, the body is mostly comprised of water. An adult is comprised of 60% water. This water is found in the most diminutive place such as cell and blood. As such, a person requires water in order to survive. The human body relies on it to sustain itself. If a person does not have adequate amount of water in his or her body, the person will experience symptoms such as nausea and dizziness. This will ultimately become dehydration due to the fact that the body is not receiving enough water in terms of what is required. Water is an integral component within a person's health maintenance. The function of water within the human body allow it to function. For instance, the human body utilizes water to aid digestion. These are the building blocks of a person's body. This also serves a medium to wash out the body's waste. With no water, the body won't be able to function very well. Even the blood that flows through our veins is very dependent to transfer nutrients, vitamins to our cells throughout our human body. Another one is to recognize the physiologic responses of the body to the disease condition. Every individual has different response to a certain disease. Different factors affect the body's response to a certain disease. A simple rise in the temperature will be different to a 60 years old patient and a 5 years old child. As we see is one of the factors. Sex of an individual is also a factor. Males have different structural makeup that differ them from their response to disease. Other factors are environmental that we can usually modify. In the statement itself, we can categorize it on the nursing assessment phase, even though holistic means not only the physical but also sociological and emotional needs. The first thing that we recognize and provide care to is one of the factors. Sex of an individual is also a factor. Males have different structural makeup that differ them from their response to disease. Other factors are environmental that we can usually modify. In the statement itself, we can categorize it on the nursing assessment phase, even though holistic means not only the physical but also sociological and emotional needs. The first thing that we recognize and provide care to is the physical needs. How can a medical team able to provide care to a patient without knowing the strength and weakness of the patient's body on his or her disease? As a dialysis nurse, patients are assessed and asked about their response on the previous dialysis upon entry to the unit. To be able to know the appropriate dialysis treatment we will provide during the session. For our patient usually having ESRD, physical assessment is a requirement for the treatment of their disease. We assess their response from the previous dialysis parameter. If the patient had hypotension, assess to have headache, dizziness, nausea, and vomiting from the previous treatment. Then for today's session, the ultrafiltration would usually be decreased, and other parameter would be changed, such as sodium of the machine would be increased, and dialysis time can be increased. If the patient is having 3 hours dialysis only, then today we can make it 3.5 hours or 4 hours. Patient himself able to recognize their body responses. In collaboration with us, nurses' physical assessment are done so easily. The patient even tell us the difference of the previous session from the other session, and even recommend a treatment that they think could make it better for them to handle. Discussion with the medical health care team will be done and finalize today's treatment. Physical assessment is a very important task needed for the nurses to comply to have a better treatment of their patient. Number 10 is to facilitate maintenance of regulatory mechanism and protection. Normally, our body has a homeostatic process to maintain its balance. Disruption to the balance results to a disease process. In situation that our internal body mechanics fail to maintain the equilibrium. Case in this point, when a patient is in shock, severely hypotensive, BP is palpatory interval mechanics to maintain BP is not effective anymore. We can now start external measures to reestablish perfusion balance by starting inotropic agent or vasoconstrictive agent. To maintain this stability that is essential in our physiologic process, negative feedback mechanism and positive feedback mechanism work. There are 3 interdependent components in this homeostatic process. Receptor is the sensing component that monitors and responds to change in the environment. When the receptor senses a stimulus, it sends information to a control center that sets the range at which a variable is maintained. The control center then sends signal to an effectors which can be muscles, organs, or other structures. After receiving the signal, a change occurs to correct the deviation by either enhancing it with positive feedbacks or depressing it with negative feedbacks. To facilitate the maintenance of sensory function. The sensory organs are very important parts of our physical body. It is no wonder that Faye Abdillah even included it together with the other sustainable care needs that supports, prolongs, and sustains life. There are 5 sensory organs and each has multiple functions that are unique and may be specific only to the specific sensory structure. Our sensory organs function to enable us all to enjoy our life here on earth, allowing us to see, hear, feel, smell, and taste the pleasures of life has to offer. But moreover than the sensation of pleasure, other sensory functions are crucial to the maintenance of life. To start with, the 2 most important senses that researchers and healthcare professionals often prioritize in care are the sense of sight and hearing. Eyesight or vision not just allow us to see beautiful things in place or the faces of our loved ones, but helps us perceive our environment. We can protect ourselves and be cautious of deleterious agents or elements in our sense of sight. With our vision and our visual reception intact, we can as well manage to do a lot of things, since for the most of the times we do tasks that utilize our eyes. A few examples are reading, writing, cooking, driving, studying, and handling machines or equipments. Important tasks we need to carry out, including our activity of daily living or ADLs, requires our eyes. Next to the visual sense is the auditory, involving the ear structures. Hearing is essential also to us individuals since it allows us to communicate and process information. Besides communication, we can also use the sounds we hear from our surroundings to anticipate things or to enjoy listening to music or to the sound of nature. The ear and its structure is not solely for sense of hearing, but another important function is for our sense of balance. With an intact, well-functioning auditory system, we don't only manage a good sense of hearing, but a sense of balance and coordination as well, which could also be important with regarding to safety as well. With just simple deduction made as to the sensory function, it is already quite obvious how important the maintenance of sensory function is to a person and to the life processes. Our sensory organs or structure needs therefore to be kept, protected, and maintained in a good state. Additionally, sensory perception involves intact neurologic functioning and thus the neurologic system be maintained well and uninjured.
To identify, accept a positive and negative expression, feelings, and reactions. This is for us to know, completely accept negative and positive outcomes for expression, feelings, and reaction. This is about the acceptance. To identify and accept interrelatedness of emotion and organic illness. This is also for us to know, identify, and accept the interrelatedness of our emotion and organic illness. To facilitate the maintenance of effective verbal and non-verbal communication. This is to look for us maintenance of the effective verbal and non-verbal communication for every individual. Promote the development of interpersonal relationship. And this is to promote the development of relationship of every people to maintain the healthiness and the development of a relationship. To facilitate the progress toward the achievement and the personal spiritual goals. To look for the improvement and the process of achievement and the spiritual goals of an individual. This promotes the positivity, maintaining and improving someone's spirituality. To create or maintain the therapeutic environment. For me,
This is the most important, maintaining or creating a healthy environment that will make you feel comfortable and less stress is very peaceful, and this also help an individual to function well in any activities. To facilitate the awareness of self as an individual with varying physical, emotional, and developmental needs. This is to fully aware of what is the needs of an individual, not just on physical needs. When an individual needs is met, it gives a very significant result to an individual of productivity and improvement as a person. To accept the optimum possible goals in the light of limitation, physical and emotional. Every individual has limitations, and every individual has the ability to surpass one's limitation, but an individual also have to accept that there are times you are on your limits, and all you have to do is to take a break, accept, and after that continue your goals. To use community resources and aid in resolving problems that arise from the illness. What do we mean by community resources? Is any help from the community. It can be material things or support as long as it can help in any problem from an illness. To understand the role of social problem as influencing factor in the cause of illness. This means to understand the role or the part of a social problem, the society of one of the influencing factor in the cause of illness. Illnesses or diseases is not just because of bacteria or the damage in our organs, but sometimes it's from our surrounding or environment or way of socializing. These show and promote the awareness and acceptance of the possibilities or uncertain effective results in any circumstances in your life. It can be relationship, socializing, illness, or every diseases. Let's all stay healthy. Physical, emotionally, and psychologically, keep mind that prevention is better than cure. You don't have to choose things for you to come up with solutions.
My name is Rashida Lindungan, and I will be discussing some parts of the acceptance by the nursing community. First, we have practice. Using the scientific foundation will empower the nurse to give meaning to each and every nursing action that he or she will perform. Ang Abdilla's typology of 21 nursing problems ay may layon na makatulong sa mga nurses at nursing student upang mas makapag-perform sa maayos na paraan. Kumbaga, mas maayos nating magagawa ang mga gawain na naibigay sa atin. Bilang tayo ay mga nursing student, sa pamamagitan ng scientific foundation na ito, ay maiinganyo nito ang mga nurses na bigyang halaga ang anumang action na kanilang gagawin. Abdilla's main goal is the improvement of the nursing education. Gamit ang 21 nursing problems technique ay masusuri ng clinical practitioner ang mga pasyente. Ang pinakamahalagang epekto ng Abdilla's theory sa mga nursing ay nakakatulong ito upang baguhin ang focus ng profession mula sa disease-centered to patient-centered. Second, we have education. Educators came to the realization that revisions are of prime importance if nurse were to become self-governing. Ang Abdilla's typology of 21 nursing problems ay mabisa at mas epektibo sa sistema ng edukasyon sa mga nursing students. Napagtanto ng mga professor or ng mga tagapagturo ang kahalagahan ng client-centered o ng patient-centered. Naisip nila ang kahalagahan ng nakafocus sa pasyente kaysa sa mga medical interventions. Unti-unting nalilihis ang konsentrasyon ng nursing education mula mahirap at mga medical concerns turso sa mas mainam na atensyon sa mga pasyente. Kumbaga, ang magiging pangunahing tungkulin o aalalahanin ay ang kapakanan ng mga pasyente.
Assalamualaikum, I am Jennifer Makatano. I'm going to discuss the planning phase, research. It is expected that more research followed after its introduction to the academic world. The staffing patterns were found on the patient's identified needs, and as Abdullah foresaw, they comprised of intensive care, intermediate care, long-term care, self-care, home care units. Intensive care is needed if someone is seriously ill and requires intensive treatment and close monitoring, or if they're having surgery and intensive care can help them recover. Intermediate care is care provided to acute care patients who are medically stable but too unstable to be treated in an alternative healthcare setting such as home, ambulatory, or traditional skilled long-term care. Long-term care services that include medical and non-medical care provided to people who are unable to perform basic activities of daily living such as dressing or bathing. Long-term supports and services can be provided at home, in the community, in assisted living, or in nursing homes. Self-care has been defined as the process of establishing behaviors to ensure holistic well-being of oneself, to promote health, and to actively management of illness. When it occurs, individuals engage in some form of self-care daily with food choices, exercises, sleep, and dental care. Home care is care that allows a person with special needs to stay in their home. It might be for people who are getting older. It could also be for people who are chronically ill, recovering from surgery, or having a disability.
So, according to Glenn Abdillah of Faith Theory about the PDCP, definitions of nursing problems and problem-solving process are distinctly explicit to nursing's and nursing's problem where cognitively given meaning, whereas the problem-solving process is given denotative meaning, ang paniwala, mga problema sa pag-aalaga at sa prosesong paglutas ng problema ay dapat daw ay may malinaw. So, ang nursing and nursing's problem ay binibigyan ng kahulugan, which means we need to focus and give it value. Generality. The more general goal is to effect the nursing's education optimistically, whereas sub-goal are to present the scientific basics for the practice and to present the methods of the qualitative appraisals of educational familiarity of the student. So, the main goal of this or yung layunin daw nito is to effect the nursing education na mas mabuti at maayos. And the sub-goal, ito naman ay upang ipakita ang mga scientific basics or batayan para sa mga practice at upang ipakita ang isang paraan sa qualitative appraisal, yung mga treatment ng pag-assess sa mga patient. Prevention is a concept for very exactly with the empirical reference that easily recognized. So, empirical precision, ito yung mga konsepto na very exactly sa mga bagay na madaling nakikilala o nare-recognize. So, durable consequence is the importance of the problem solving is the restricted by time or space and giving away from continued growth and changing in the service of nursing care. So, durable consequence ay importante daw dito about sa problem solving na walang nalilimitang oras or space at giving away sa pagtuloy ng paglaki o pagbabago ng serbisyo ng nursing.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Sarah Juni. Ang aking report is talk about nursing diagnosis.
Nursing diagnosis and nursing result of data collection will be determined the select specific over to convert problems. These specific problems will be grouped under one or more of the broader nursing problems. The step is constant with that involved in nursing diagnosis. Based on my understanding, as diagnosis stage of the nursing process, the standard is defined as the register nursing analysis assessment data to determine the actual or potential diagnosis. The RN priorities diagnosis problems and issue that based on mutually establishing goals to meet the needs of the healthcare, a consumer across that healthiness, continuous and the care confused diagnosis. Problem stage and issues that documented in manners that fulfill capacity to development expect outcomes and collaborative plan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Narkisa Jikusaim from Group 9. The topic is evolution. Evolution, the most, the process, the evolution, words be the nurse, the process or the lack of the process towards the assessment of the stage glass. Evolution, process, systematic mature, a study, a program, practice, interpretation, interpretive to understand how well each the active, it's a glass, like which is the nurse is directly involved in the decision making process for the treatment of the patients. It is important that they are able to think critically when the disease patent the second and identifying potential problems so that they can make the approaches, recommendation, and action. Kumbaga, tumutuloy ng matukoy kung ano ang gumagamit ng maayos at kung ano ang maaaring mapabuti sa isang programa or sinistya.